contribute toward that obligation that you each indicated to me that you've decided to do is to discontinue the $500 annual assistance that is given to retirees to assist with their health insurance premiums, and rather redirect those funds to the pension as a payment to the pension. That line item is budgeted in 2012 at $101,000. It was estimated that we'd have approximately 200 retirees that would receive that $500. So if that's what you choose to do by action officially, that $101,000, then if you would make it part of your motion,
I'd like to stipulate that. Yes.
that $101,000 would be paid toward the pension instead.
Okay. Someone like to make that form?
No, it's rather an insignificant amount in the whole scheme, but I still have concerns because we're taking the first steps, even though it seems insignificant. It's an important first step to try to move some of this funding to.
And maybe because we are new in the contribution area, and we know we have to deal with this.
We're real new in that.
And this is just the first step in a process of dealing with it. That maybe the pension board at some point would convene. Make sure we are all on the same page with understanding the direction we want to go with that. But for now, would someone like to make a motion that has this action stipulating that that money will not be used for anything but?
Those letters can't go until you took an official action.
I'll make the motion to do that.
Second.
And one further question. My understanding is that this is something that other counties do not provide, and is that a general understanding?
Maybe Bob can expand. I'm unaware of any that provide it. I am aware that there are some counties that may still have a long tail, I'll call it, but some legacy health insurance coverage for retirees that may have been decades ago.
Pre-existing.
That
Right.
they're still carrying. But as
to the
far
best
as
of my
this,
knowledge, we were pretty well exclusive the way we did this.
Okay, so that's another, trying to be up to date in terms of offerings and so on. And in light of our pension challenges, that seemed like a place that we're trying to secure this for our pensioners, those 200 people. And so this is a part of the overall plan to do that. So, yes,
If I may say,
Robert.
just to back up what Amy said, that's, in my talks with other counties, that's absolutely correct. There was something that was in place that has been, but I think that's almost every county that had it is, as of a certain date, has phased it out. If you were maybe from 30 years ago, you were still in the plan,
Yes.
that part of it, but nobody current is.
or attrition. Mostly attrition.
$101,000 may seem like an insignificant amount of money when you compare it to the amount of money that I guess needs to be paid back into that fund. However, to a person living on a fixed income, $500 is a significant amount of money. This must have been a tough decision for you to make, because it could be conceivable that a lot of people, retirees, people that have put their life's work into this county, and at a time, some of them, when county employees were not paid what the rest of the workforce in the county was getting paid, are going to take it as a slap in the face.
I do know that the retirees were extremely grateful for the $500. We would get numerous cards every year from the retirees. It was not an unappreciated gesture. It's with sadness that we do have to take this step. We just can't afford not to. We have to reverse the trend, and I think in the long run it will help to create a more stable pension fund, and I think ultimately that would be our goal and theirs, and hopefully that higher calling is something that they can consider when they hear the news.
Just in response to that question, Gordon, I think it's a very worthy question, but my observation is that every time at every level of government when someone makes a move to discontinue something in an effort to save money or move money, and I was the one that just used the phrase, indicating that it's an insignificant amount going to the pension. But we constantly hear that if we cut this out, well, that's only going to save, $23 million, and in the whole scheme of things, that's just not that much, and it's really not going to help the balance down the line. And I think as a board, we're taking the attitude that we're going to try to do this in little pieces, and it may be futile. We might not be able to accomplish it, but I don't think we can take the attitude that oh well, it's only $101,000, and is it really worth it? And I recognize exactly what you're saying. I'm sure that some of those folks, maybe all of them, will feel the pain of not having that $500. But we have a responsibility to place that money where we think it's the most important for all of the people involved, and that's why we made the decision. And these aren't easy decisions, and they're going to continue to be difficult decisions. But
And so we're looking at all areas, and this in the context of what other counties are doing. We're studying all what the picture looks like, and realizing that the pensioners we're doing this as a step in the right direction to secure their future and make that as solvent as possible. And you've heard this morning from the other human service agencies how they're going to have some tough decisions too, and it's going to be the same type of question. Who's going to be the recipient of these shortfalls in funds? But we got to do the best we can with what we have, and that's what this represents.
Drops fill the bucket.
The implication of what you're saying is that in getting this right, there's going to be more pain that's going to be passed out, and this is not going to be the only group of people in Lebanon County that are going to have to make sacrifices to get this rolling back where it should be.
I think that's a fair statement. Based on what we know, there's going to be a lot more intense scrutiny of everything, and that's why if you hear us, someone asks for a full-time replacement, we're trying to go 2 part-timers or 1 part-timer. And all this is the Drops Fill the Bucket program. As long as we're doing things in the right direction, eventually it will add up to something and have some impact. But we're trying to set the tone that we're in dire straits here, and so that nothing will go unnoticed.
How about the taxpayers?
Yeah, those two.
yeah.
Absolutely, Gordon. I mean, this is every part of this is important. The reassessment, people are going through that, so there's another layer of pain for 28% or whatever that number is. They were talking a third. I think the new number is 28% are going up, and that's a reality for those. Then on top of whatever the other school districts and so on are going to be doing. So we've got to be very cautious in how we go forward.
I know a lot of people are going to take shots at this board, but I honestly am proud to be a member of this board, because I think we have courage enough to take steps that are necessary, and we aren't going to continue business as usual just like, somehow this thing's going to right itself somewhere down the road. It's not going to, unless people like us at every level of government begin to get serious about making changes and making it work. And I'm proud that we have the courage to do that.
And thank you. This is about our children, grandchildren, the next generation, and I'll tell you that these decisions are not popular, but they're just ones, as Bill has said, that the time has come. We can't kick this can down the road, if you want to use the cliche that's out there. But okay, we'll call the question. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
So moved.